How would I chapter my life, you ask? That's easy. There's BL and AL, before Lorraine and after Lorraine.
It was in the 1950s and we were in love. I was 19 and Tony was 21.
Nobody questioned us. Guess we knew what we were doing.
So we got in the car and drove to Arizona, where Tony had a graduate fellowship to study astronomy. It's a lot of beauty, and we've gone seeking it and finding it in so many places. When it was time to have our second child, I went out late at night to the telescope to find Tony and say, "Here's a cup of coffee, we're broke."
There were lots of jobs at the time because of the space program. There were a few astronomy people educated in astronomy, to teach in colleges. I pulled a Colgate flyer off the bulletin board, dialed a number, got hired over the phone without an interview. I started my career as a professor. Lorraine was always my partner in crime.
They loved him so much, and the students would come over for dinner and say, "Oh, Mrs. Aveni, this is the best chocolate cake I've ever had."
That was the beginning of our next chapter with our Colgate family. We took 39 January term trips to Mexico to work with archaeologists to study astronomical orientations of buildings. Never been done before. We called the new discipline archaeoastronomy. Our appreciation for adventure was sparked the very first time we drove across the border. In these periods of chaos since our first child in 1959, we have set aside always our Friday nights, the end of the week, for nothing but each other. It's our escape.
Tonight we're doing steak Diane.
Oh, one of my favorites.
One martini, shrimp pate, steak Diane.
It's what we do for us. 62 years. We're very regimented, if you can't tell.
Unless we are in the Adirondacks, we sit in our chairs and breathe in the air. If things ever got stressful in our lives, we would pack a picnic lunch and climb up the hill.
Lorraine's an incredibly talented artist. Her art is everywhere in our home. The gallery is her place of expression. She works on her art, and I work on my writing.
We've been so grateful and lucky to have so many once-in-a-lifetime opportunities together. While it's easy to look back on them now and think, wow, that was amazing in the moment, it was always a little bit scary to dive in, but we had each other again and knew that it was what we were meant to do.
Yeah, when I started writing my books, Lorraine was my editor and we did indexing together. Then she began her passion for art, but we continued to find peace together in our favorite ways. I like to get her up and do just a little dance, even though I'm not really good at it.
Maybe the fireplace is on. Certainly jazz is. It's very nice.
We've never considered ourselves each just one person.